Hello student, myself Nimesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Antenna and Propagation lecture series. In my previous lecture, I complete chapter number 12, Broadband and Frequency Independent Antenna. Now we start new chapter, chapter number 13. The name of this chapter is Antenna for Special Application. So as the name suggests, in this chapter we discuss about the different application of the antenna. So now we start the antenna for satellite communication. An idea of artificial satellite was first proposed by radar officer Sir Arthur C. Clarke in 1945. Then in 1953, Professor Sputnik launched first geostationary satellite named SYNCOM-2 into the geostationary orbit. The geostationary orbit is also called the Clarke orbit to honor Sir Arthur C. Clarke. Now the designing consideration. So to design the antenna for the satellite communication, we have to consider for the large distance, then ground reflection, then spacing of the satellite in the Clarke orbit, that means in the geostationary orbit. Then we have to consider about the ability of the spectrum, then ability of the antenna to respond opposite state polarization, then power of transponder, then gain of the antenna. Now consider for the receiving case. So here we know that for the satellite communication we can use the antenna for the transmitting as well as the receiving. So first one we consider case for the receiving. Consider a receiving antenna with a resistance Ra as shown in this figure. The receiving antenna collect an incident power Pa from wave received. The transmission line used to feed the antenna is selected such that ZR0 is equals to Rf, that means impedance matching. Also assume that the perfect matching between the receiver with the resistance Rr and the line impedance Ra. We get condition Rr is equals to Ra. The total power delivered to the load, that means receiver, is obtained as P receive is equals to PR upon PR plus RA. Sorry, RR upon RR plus RA into PA. So we can simply write as a RR upon 2RA into PA. So we can write this equation as P receive is equals to 1 by 2 PA. From the equation, we can conclude that the power received by the receiver is equal to the half of the incident power collected by antenna, and remaining half power is half power is re-radiate into the space. This condition is nothing but the condition of maximum power transfer. Now we discuss about the transmitting case. So here we consider transmitting case. Consider a transmitting antenna with an antenna resistance Ra. Consider that the transmitter of the impedance RT supply power PT to the antenna. So now we consider the Z0 is equals to Ra. We think that there is a complete impedance matching. Assuming that zero loss, power radiated by antenna is given by P radiate is equals to RR upon RT plus RA into PA, and the unit for this is the watt. Now we discuss about the bandwidth consideration. If the center or the design frequency is denoted by F0, then the percentage bandwidth is generally specified as percentage bandwidth is equals to f2 minus f1 upon f0 into 100. So here the f2 is the higher frequency, and f1 is the lower, and f0 is the center frequency. So we get the percentage bandwidth. When the bandwidth due to the impedance variation is narrow, then the bandwidth can be expressed in terms of the quality factor Q. So we can express in the quality factor the bandwidth is equals to f0 upon q0. Here the f0 is the center frequency and q is indicate the quality factor. Now antenna for the terrestrial mobile communication. Three elements in the mobile communication is very important. Three elements are prime in the realizing the circuit of the present day mobile and personal communication system. First one is the microelectronic hardware. Second one is the use of the radio spectrum. And third one is the support infrastructure. So these three elements is very important for the mobile communication. The antenna required for the terrestrial mobile communication system can be classified as base station antenna and mobile station antenna. Now we discuss about the base station antenna. Every base station antenna cover a specific area on the ground, and the antenna should direct signal only to the towards coverage area to the extent possible. Cellular system work on a frequency reuse by which same frequency is used in the multiple area or the cell. There are two types of base station antenna. First one is non-adaptive base station antenna, and second one is the adaptive base station antenna. So first we discuss about the non-adaptive base station antenna. The non-adaptive base station antenna have a fixed physical orientation and a fixed radiation pattern. The beamwidth in the vertical plane can be tolerated in order to have increased directivity. So this is the definition. Non-adaptive antenna is the base station antenna have fixed physical orientation and a fixed radiation pattern. So here the radiation pattern of the antenna is fixed. The concept is illustrated in this figure. The gain is thus increased by decreasing the beamwidth in the vertical plane, and gain value of the 5 to 17 dB are typically obtained. The radiation pattern in the horizontal plane of a three-sector configuration is shown in this figure, where the beamwidth is indicated to be around 65 degrees. In order to reduce the interference in existent cell, the beam of the base station antenna is usually tilted down as shown in this figure. Interference reduction is also ensured by the keeping a low vertical plane side lobe as illustrated in this figure. Now antenna diversity for base station. To reduce the effect of multi-part fading, diversity techniques are required to be employed in the base station receiving. By antenna diversity, several antennae are used to obtain independent samples of the incoming field. There are different techniques of combining the diversity receive signal, such as selection combining, then second one is the maximum ratio combining, and third one is the equal gain combining. So these are the different diversity method. Now we discuss about the second one type of the base station antenna. This is the adaptive base station antenna. The non-adaptive base station antenna have a fixed pattern, coverage and orientation. However, the user distribution and the propagation channel for the each user changes continuously in the terrestrial mobile communication. The non-adaptive antenna do not sufficient because now the task of the base station antenna is to improve S by N of the signal connection and maximize the coupling between the BS, that means base station, and the wanted user. This is possible only with the use of the adaptive base station antenna. So by using the adaptive base station antenna, we increase the SIN ratio. So it increased. Now also higher system gain, that means increase the coverage or range. Then it also increased higher uplink gain. So it reduced the power requirement of MS, that means mobile station antenna. Now we discuss about a type of adaptive base station antenna. So first one is the beamforming. In the beamforming, the pattern maxima are formed in the wanted direction and the pattern null in the unwanted direction as shown in this figure. So by using this technique, we can form our pattern of the maximum in our desired direction, or in other words we can say the pattern of the minima in undesired direction. Practically, due to the limited number of antenna element, only a few maxima and null can be simultaneously realized. Now the second one type of the adaptive base station antenna is switch beam antenna. This is the straightforward way to adapt to the dynamic mobile station distribution. Here in the BS antenna pattern has several selectable beam, of which each cover a certain part of the cell area. This illustrated in this figure. And the last one type is the adaptive array. The adaptive array option is the most comprehensive and the complex arrangement as the adaptive base station antenna. They are multiple input, multiple output, that means MIMO system that can provide transmit diversity as well as receive diversity. Signal received are weighted by a digital signal processor. Now we discuss about the antenna for cellular handset. The antenna on cellular handset are required to be designed under a tight space limitation. The volume of the handset is less than 100 cm3 and the space available for antenna is maximum up to 5 cm3. The operating frequency is 800 MHz to 900 MHz. A wipe antenna is a better solution for obtaining large bandwidth in a small effective volume. Now we discuss next one is the GPR, antenna for ground penetrating radar. Ground penetrating radar are used to identify and detect object or structure under the ground surface. This technique is most useful to detect underground anomalies which are either natural or man-made. There are few difference between above ground radar and ground penetrating radar system. First one difference is in GPR the distance involved are very small. Second one, the ground is found to be a lossy medium for the GPR. Third one difference is large mismatch between the characteristic of medium and ground air interface. Next one is GPR system require pulse of the shorter duration. Now GPR system use two dipole antenna, one for transmitting signal and other for receiving signal. Typically a pair of dipole antenna are placed very close and parallel to ground. The antenna are in the form of heavily loaded dipole. These antenna are heavily loaded to minimize antenna ringing. Now the question comes in our mind, what is antenna ringing? Antenna ringing is a phenomenon in which the antenna radiates continuously even after the driven frequency is turned off. There are chances of the reflection of the pulse from the end of the dipole. Hence, to reduce such bouncing pulse, the dipole antenna can be made up of resistance strip as shown in this figure. In such antenna, a wide angle part which is unshaded by a low resistance per unit length, while the narrow angle part shown by the shaded portion has high resistance per unit length. The antenna is called resistance loaded vertic antenna because its shape and the property. A typical GPR system used for subsurface probing is as shown in this figure. In the presence of lossy and inhomogeneous medium, the frequency band of operation is limited by factors like propagation losses, antenna size of object to be detected, etc. Now we discuss next one type of antenna is embedded antenna. Embedded antenna is nothing but a metallic conductor embedded in a dielectric material. The main purpose of embedding a metallic conductor in a dielectric is for packing and reducing size of antenna. It helps in protecting against environmental conditions. When a metallic conductor is embedded in a dielectric, its resonant frequency deviates from its free space resonant frequency. Now the advantages of embedded antenna. So it widely used in the mobile handset where shape and volume are most important consideration. Second one advantage is it provides durable and reliable solution for mobile handset. Third one advantage is their physical dimension, color, size, shape can be easily customized. And last one advantage of embedded antenna is it provides the exceptional clarity. So these are the advantages of embedded antenna. Consider a 4-element microstrip antenna as shown in this figure. Such an array can be embedded in a dielectric as shown in this figure B. In the arrangement, the patch conductors are sandwiched between a two dielectric layer forming a dielectric conductor dielectric sandwich. Now we discuss next one type of antenna is ultra wideband antenna. Ultra wideband antenna are specially used for a digital application. It is observed that most of the antenna that work satisfactorily with analog waves cannot work satisfactorily with the digital wave. There are two main reasons behind this. First one reason is the physical structure of the antenna is very large, and second one is the digital pulses are in the form of the pulse with the short duration. Rhombic V antenna is the example of ultra wideband antenna. Here this is the example of the rhombic. And last one antenna is the plasma antenna. A plasma antenna is an ionized gas which behaves as a conductor when it is highly energized. A plasma antenna can be obtained by replacing a metallic conducting element of a conventional antenna with plasma. Compared with the conventional antenna, the plasma antenna is much lighter. As compared with the conventional metallic antenna, the plasma antenna exhibit a rapid switchability by ionization and deionization. A typical plasma antenna as shown in this figure. At high frequency, a copper cylindrical sleeve is wrapped around the base of the electrode less tube. So this is the plasma antenna. So in this lecture, we have discussed about the antenna for special application. So we have discussed different types of the antenna. Thank you.